Alright, time now is 9:40 a.m. on March 13th, aka 8:40. Yeah, the stupid air vent is fucking turned on again. I don't know why. It's not. I don't know what the hell is going on lately with my air vent. Like, it's probably broken. So I slept from 3:50 to 9:40. So that's nearly 6 hours, so that's pretty great, but I still feel sleepy. And my canker sore right here, it's getting really bad. And I should have counted the days because usually it takes about 11 days for the canker sore to start healing itself. Um, but I feel like now I've reached peak. It hurts so much. Right on time from my adventure with Retablo today, which is great, of course. One more complaint is I don't know why, but lately every time I wake up, my blanket would shift, and a good chunk of it would touch the ground, like like right here. So that's also great. Shut the fuck up, air vent. But yeah, still processing yesterday. Still processing um yesterday. Pretty interesting day indeed. And yeah, yeah. It's just every time I do something crazy, go somewhere crazy, I tell myself I could have spent the day sitting in my bedroom watching YouTube videos, not doing anything productive. Um, but instead, yesterday I spent it doing something like that. So that's pretty crazy. And I've always wanted to try authentic Mexican food. While I didn't go to Mexico yesterday, I think yesterday was a very interesting example. Um, yeah. And then today there's more to happen. So today is a Monday, meaning that it's Photo 1. So today I will go to Photo 1 class. And then, yeah, in about half an hour I'll have to leave, which is funny. And then I shall return home and then okay, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna go to Photo 1 class, and then Retablo will pick me up at the college campus. Um, and then he's gonna drive me back home real quick, where I put down my camera bag and whatnot. And then we're gonna start our adventures by firstly going to Santa Monica to have lunch. Have British food like fish and chips. I low-key wanted to try my first fish and chips in the UK, but I really don't know when's the next time I'll go to the UK. So, yeah, today would be a good day to try it the first time. Um, and then, after that, I want to bring them to the Grove, where I would show them Barnes and Noble and stuff. And if we have extra time, they could bring me to Glendale. And then next up, I will bring them to Alhambra and Monterey Park, 168 Market and Garden Cafe for dinner. And show them a bit of a Hong Kong culture, but just a bit, because at the end of the day, this is Hong Kongers in America. And and then at the very, very end of the day, they're gonna bring me to Sawtell, and I'm gonna show them the Wanderlust ice cream place, where our journey will end. So yeah, that's that. Um, not much else. I feel really cold right now. God damn. Um, yeah, I'm gonna eat cherry pie for breakfast. Oh, there we go. Cherry pie and yogurt for breakfast. And Not much else. I hope Pepper doesn't show up. Aiden, the hidden Hong Konger, will show up today, so that's gonna be interesting. Hopefully I get to expand on that. You know. Yeah, again, it just sucks that every time I meet a new Hong Konger or a new potential friend now, it has to start all over again. I have to rebuild an entire relationship all over again. Like how I did with Potter. The first few conversations we had, it's basically nothing. It's just scratching the surface. And then the more we talk, the more it reveals. Well, actually, the first conversation I had with Potter went pretty deep, but that's because we're pretty special. Because he's pretty special, and you know, we work quite well actually. Yeah. Damn, my belly is actually hurting a little bit. Maybe it's from last night. But it's not hurting in a way. It's the usual hurt. Huh. That's weird. Not yet.
All right, man.
Just film me.
Yeah.
Make sure I'm in the frame or something. Oh no! Don't press the phone. Okay, so this is like ranch sauce or something, right?
Tartar.
I think it's tartar sauce.
So that's for fish. Pour a little bit on the fish. Yes, it's coming. Okay, there we go. Now, first time, fish and chips. Let's try the fish first. Ooh, tender. Very tender inside, crispy outside. Chips, hold on. You see me, right?
Yeah.
Alright, and then with the fries. Wow. This is very fluffy and soft.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it good, actually. Whoa, what an interesting drink. Oh,
Hey.
thick beer for a thick man.
Tango.
Oh boy, shouldn't have said that. Run! Okay. They got the Japanese paintings here.
Yeah, can we go to
And then I found this. Oh, they got the giant skeleton shirt. Oh my god. I'm sorry, Spy Family. But I'm getting the skeleton shirt.
3?
Yeah, it's pretty mid cover.
It's 5.
But this is an amazing film.
Yeah, they got Christopher Nolan's first film here as well, following. Oh, they got Flowers of Shanghai.
Wait, what's
This
this?
movie is okay. If you think Parasite is boring, this will kill you. This is the most boring film I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was really
Hold on. FHIJKLMNO, right here. Okay. Who?
That's the first time they're like doing TikToks over here.
like a dance or something.
Oh, cringe.
I've seen a lot of it.
Poker Veil. Nice. And of course they don't have one. Spy Classroom. The cast for Spy Classroom, the anime, is so stacked.
Really?
It's insane.
I haven't seen it.
What's it mean? It's all the chapters. It's
Huh.
all
Is it just one season?
Okay, this is the legendary lemon tea, but this is not the right kind. This is sparkling. The right kind should be. Yeah, if you want to buy a lot, then yeah. Oh, that's okay. Oh, can't. Oh, it's blocked. What the heck? I hear
Let's
Cantonese.
looking at each other, look at the soda.
This is Korean though. It's not like Chinese or anything. Okay, lemon tea should be over there.
This is
Hey, have you ever had these before?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
okay.
what our grandma's get.
That is my most iconic commercial. Okay.
Mexican grandmas.
Oh,
Eat
really?
those and then put sewing kits in there.
Oh, wait, that's weird. I can't find the paper boxes of lemon tea. I don't know. I'm not an expert in this. Okay, so this is minced pork century egg congee, the classic.
Let me blow on it first.
It is pretty good.
Yeah. This is like, this soothes the soul, you know. This is the type of food that, it's comfort food, basically. I mean, it's not like comfort food, but you know. Oh,
Well, it's not, but this is like something my mom would make.
yeah.
Like once I come home from like work or something. I like visit her.
Ooh, so hot.
Already feels good.
All right, time now is oh, you know what? Let me drink a sip of water. Frick, I'm thirsty. Oh, I'm so tired. Okay, time now is 12:51 after midnight. Let's talk about today. Holy shit, today is quite possibly the most eventful day I've had in the whole year so far. It is quite astonishing. So let's start off with the morning. I went to Photo 1 class. Yay. God, I'm so tired. Went to Photo 1 class. I was late by 8 minutes. Even though when I looked at my transit app, it estimated that I would arrive at campus at around 10:58, which is like 18 minutes or 17 minutes earlier than the class. But of course, the bus gets late every fucking time. My first bus got late and then my second bus got late, resulting in me getting late. I love Los Angeles, woohoo. But yeah, it doesn't really matter. I arrived at class today and it's a little underwhelming actually because only 2 Koreans showed up. Oh, 3 actually. But yeah. That other Korean girl, she's gone somewhere. I don't know why. And the hidden Hong Kong Aiden, he didn't show up, which is kind of disappointing. I was hoping that there would be more development between us. There would be more talk, but unfortunately not. So I mainly stuck with Trevor, this Latino guy who is kind of chill, and also this Chinese guy whose name is James apparently. He came up to me and constantly asked me stuff, and it's clear that he doesn't really have anyone else to stick with, so he just came up to me and spoke to me a lot. And he mainly spoke to me in Mandarin, and I tried my best to converse in Mandarin with him. I surprisingly did better than I thought I would in Mandarin, because I haven't spoken in so long. But, yeah. Apparently he's a computer science major. He asked me basic things like what's my major, and like, do I eat outside, or like, how do I usually cook? And we left together. We left the class together. Like, he ran up to me and like, we left together. That's Cliff. Okay, but anyways, right after Photo 1, I went to the south of the campus to meet up with Retablo and his friend. And Retablo was, he really wanted to go to the bathroom and take a number 1, so I took him to a bathroom. I'm happy he didn't choose to come to my apartment to go to my bathroom. I mean, it's fine, but Zara, only 2 people who have used my bathroom is Potter and Zara. And yeah, I don't like people going to my bathroom. And then he drove me back home after a lot of annoying traffic. And I put down my stuff, grabbed my diagonal bag, and I was ready to go. So I left, and yeah. And then here we go. Our first stop is Santa Monica, and we're going to a British restaurant called Ye Old King's Head. Ye Old King's Head? Ye Old King? Yeah, Ye Old King. and it's a British restaurant, fish and chips. And so it's kind of exciting because I've never had fish and chips before in my life. I know it exists, but yeah. And then also shepherd's pie. I think I only knew that shepherd's pie exists because of Gordon Ramsay. Um, but yeah. So we had it, and the waiter showed up, and it's a old British woman, maybe in her late 50s, early 60s. Not that old. Let's be polite here. And we actually ordered. We looked for a parking spot for so long, and Nason, who was driving, like got really pissed. Like, where the fuck do I park? I hate this country. But yeah, we sat down, and it's so nice, and we ordered a bunch of stuff. And we had fish and chips. We ordered shepherd's pie, and then I wanted some vegetables, so we ordered a Cobb salad. And then the waitress asked us if we want sausage rolls as well, and then Rotabo was like, "Oh, sure." And then I thought to myself, because I already know that it's gonna be a very pricey meal. I didn't want to add more. I want to try more, but at the same time, I'm scared for my wallet. I'm scared for my bank account. So I was like, "Oh, does it cost?" And it's weird the waitress would suddenly make the suggestion. But I guess they want to make more money, so I understand why. But yeah, so I was like, "Oh, does it cost?" And the waitress looked at me and goes, "Oh no, it's free." And then she grabbed the menu and bonked my head and said, "Of course it costs." And just walked away. And it was kind of funny, I guess. But yeah, we had the meal, and honestly, it's fucking amazing. It's like a 10 out of 10 meal for me. The fish and chips, the batter is so crispy, the fish is so tender, the chips is amazing. The shepherd's pie tastes really good. The Cobb salad is really great as well. The sausage roll is amazing. Fluffy crust, really tasteful sausages. The gravy is nice. The Shirley Temple drink, so refreshing. And honestly, I enjoyed every single bit of this meal, including the service, including the design of the restaurant itself. And I had so much food. I was so full by the end of the lunch, and it's just lunch. We continue to eat more later, but I was so full. But yeah, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. It's a strong 9 to a 10, basically. It's seriously good, and it's been so long since I've had a lunch this good. I think the last time I had a lunch this good, it was probably one of the meals in Japan. Yeah, I think the last time I had lunch this good, it was that soba place in Nagano. This is up there. This is also 10 out of 10. Wow, that soba place in Nagano is fucking 10 out of 10 meal. Perfect. Everything worked. Oh my god. But yeah, this is amazing. And then we visited the shop beside the restaurant a little bit. Pretty interesting. Very British. And then we wanted to take a walk. So we were running out of time, and our plan is we're going to go to the fish and chips place, and then the Grove, and then I'm going to bring them to Alhambra to visit 168 Market. I'll bring them to Garden Cafe, and then I'll bring them to Sawtell, and then that's it for today. So I was a little, I was like, oh, let's be a little hurry. But then at the same time, I also want to just walk around in Santa Monica because after the meal, I feel so full. I need to walk to burn the calories, to walk it out and digest a little bit. So we walked to Uniqlo, where both of them spent a lot of time, a whole hour, to buy clothes. And I got a little impatient, honestly, because I've been to this Uniqlo before. It's nothing crazy. I don't really care about buying clothes. But at the same time, I didn't want to hurry them because A, I'm nice, B, they are here for a vacation. So I don't want to rush them because I know for them it's not good to rush, So I just let it be. I had my film camera out and I took photos for my urban landscape assignment, and it is what it is. Yeah. At the end, I found Spy Family shirts, and I'm like, oh, what if I buy one? So I was planning to actually buy one, and then later I found out that there's a Japanese painting shirt where it's a giant skeleton, and it's so cool. And I don't want to buy two t-shirts, so I chose the painting one over the Spy Family one. So that's what I chose at the end. So I actually bought myself a shirt, about $27, which is not too bad. Of course, in Hong Kong and in Japan, it would be cheaper, but you know what? Fine. So yeah, after that, at around 4:30 ish, we drove to the Grove, and it took a whole hour. At that point, I was tired and full, and I was growing a little impatient. I'm scared that the sun would go down really quick. It's my filmmaker ass. My filmmaker mindset is telling me we're losing light, we're losing daylight, and we have to hurry and stuff like that. And they're playing a lot of Lil Wayne and a lot of what's the other rapper that Nason played? 50 Cent. And both of the artists I'm not super familiar with. Of course, I'm familiar with Lil Wayne a little more, but yeah. So I wasn't like enjoying the music a lot. It's great music, but it's not something that I'm super into so far. Cliff is DMing me. Yeah, it's so we arrived at the Grove at around 5:30, and at that point the sun is already setting. And the thing is, the sky was so cloudy as well. Usually LA is super sunny, but today something's wrong. So it didn't really feel that great. I didn't feel bad though. Like, it still feels amazing. Still feels surreal. That meal was amazing. The fact that I'm hanging out with a couple friends are great. I love hanging out with people. So I went to the Grove. We went straight to Barnes and Noble, and of course I immediately went to the Criterion stand. While both Retablo and Nason are fans of movies, they're not as into movies as me, so they got attracted by the vinyls, which is also great. I'm a little disappointed that a good chunk of the Criterions are gone. They replaced it with another stand. But yeah, later we went up to the third floor, which I've never been actually, to see the mangas, and it was pretty great. But also there aren't a lot of great mangas in there, and a lot of great mangas there don't have volume 1. And I low-key wanted to buy one, but then I already got a shirt. I already paid $40 fucking dollars for lunch. $40. That's the most money I've spent on a lunch. I'm not kidding. That is the most money I've spent on a lunch in my whole fucking life. But you know what? Today's a special day. It's worth it. Yeah, I wanted to buy something, so both of them also bought something. Both of them also bought a lot of clothes. Both of them are also planning to buy mangas. I think, there's Paradise Kiss, and Mason bought that. And Retablo found, Look Back by Fujimoto Tatsuki, which is a one-shot thing that he wrote. And he bought that and a mug, a souvenir. And then we went down. I was gonna buy something, but then you know what? Let's save up. And then when we went down to the cashier, I was just gonna walk out, and they're like, "Oh no, we're paying." And I'm like, "Oh yeah." And then right beside the cashier, there's like a table where Oyasumi Punpun Volume 1 was there, and I'm like, "Oh," because I went up there, and a lot of manga series, including Oyasumi Punpun, doesn't have Volume 1, so someone else probably bought it all. Turns out there was a Volume 1 downstairs right beside the cashier, so I'm like, so I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'll buy it. So I bought it. I bought the Oyasumi Punpun Volume 1, and it's also 27 point something dollars. I felt a little guilty because I'm not super into the series. To be fair, I haven't read it. I know it's great, but I also know if I want to read it, I could just read it online. But maybe it's a good thing to have it as physical. Also, another thing is the English translation will never be as accurate as the Chinese translation. So I was thinking maybe it's better to have the Chinese translation. But also, if I really want to buy the Chinese translation of Oyasumi Punpun, I wouldn't be able to buy it until I go back to Hong Kong, which is like so long from now. So maybe it's a good decision. Yeah, we're gone. And we returned to the car, and we continued. And then we spent about 40 minutes, 50 minutes driving all across LA to Alhambra, to 168 Market. We took a couple photos as well with Retablo, which is quite nice. So I went to 168 Market, and on the way I could finally play some of the music I know and I like Shadow Community, and also Asian music, and spread that. I've never felt so Asian in my life. Today and yesterday, I felt so fucking Asian. Like, when it's so. I remember that joke, I think, I forgot who said that joke. I think it's like one of the guests asked Bobby Lee on his podcast or something. Like, when you wake up, do you feel Asian? That's just such a silly fucking question. But in LA, that's kind of true. I feel more Asian than ever because suddenly I have become the spokesperson of the entire Hong Kong culture. In Hong Kong, I'm just a regular human being. In here, I'm like the spokesperson of Hong Kong culture. I'm on behalf of Hong Kong suddenly. So yeah, like Nathan asked me a lot of questions about Hong Kong culture, like, oh, is this how they say it? Like in Hong Kong, do they have this? And a lot of times, they're actually really good questions, and it made me feel even more Hong Kong. Like they would say Mexican things, and I wouldn't understand. And I would say like Hong Kong things, like, oh, have you tried congee? And they're like, no. And I asked them, have you tried century egg? And they would be like, no. And I asked them, have you tried duck? And apparently they have never tried duck before, which is kind of shocking, because duck and chicken are so similar. Of course, chicken's more popular, but in Hong Kong, a lot of people also eat duck. It's just another bird. It's just poultry, But apparently, duck is a lot more exotic here, and a lot more of a rare. Like, people don't consume duck as much, which is shocking to me. One thing that really shocks me, I understand why people here don't eat century eggs. It's a weird Chinese black egg, but duck it's just a bird, just like chicken. Like, it's like there's nothing crazy about duck meat. But yet apparently people, like Americans, don't eat a lot of ducks. So I didn't know that. Okay. But yeah, we went to 168 Market, and it's amazing how it's like cultural cross-pollination. Last night they brought me to carne asada, and I tried so much Mexican stuff that I've never tried before, and today it's the other way around. I got to show a lot of cool stuff, And at the end we found lemon tea. Milk Kiss is Korean. It's not Hong Kong. It's not Chinese either. It's Korean. I told them about it, and they were really shocked. Like, what? They're mixing milk with soda? Like, that's wild. And I'm like, how is that wild compared to what I had last night, which is beer mixed with fucking chili sauce? That's insane. Milk with soda is not insane at all in comparison. And also, milk is so much more accessible than michelada. But they were like shocked by it. And then I told them, oh, it's just like milk with cream soda. And they don't know what cream soda is. So I'm like, oh, it's like milk with 7-Up or yogurt with 7-Up. And they were kind of like, oh, I'm so excited to try this. And then they actually tried it, and they both liked it because apparently it just tastes like Yakult, but soda. Like, Retablo has tried Yakult before. So I'm like, oh yeah, sure. Of course it's like Yakult. And Nathan hasn't tried Yakult before, but he likes it too. So that's great. They discovered another new awesome drink. And then they also bought Baby Star ramen snack, which is technically Japanese, but it's such a huge part of my childhood. And also the the rice crackers with white sugary crumbles, also a gigantic part of my childhood. And we got the lemon tea. They also got the sugarcane juice. All the Hong Kong shit, really. And they paid. I didn't pay a single dime. But yeah, I was also prepared to flex my Cantonese a little bit, because they got to flex their Spanish. It's my turn, So we drove to a restaurant which is so nearby, Garden Cafe, and we actually ate there. And I was kind of scared because I've never had dinner there. I've had lunch there a couple times, but never dinner there. And as expected, is way less popular. And the thing is, by then it was like 9 p.m. almost, like 8:40 something p.m. It's way past dinner time, so it's kind of empty. But we went in, and it's still open, and the waiter comes in, and I just started like speaking Cantonese with the waiter. which is nice. Like the waiters were a little confused, like whether to just speak to me in English or not, because clearly there are two Mexicans here, and they are clearly standing out. Like there are no Mexicans in this area. What are they doing here? But yeah, I ordered century egg and pork congee, classic congee. So they've never had century egg or congee before. Gailan, pork neck, with rice. They've never had gailan before, nor have they had pork neck. I could have gone for something way more accessible, like beef slices with broccoli, but let's challenge them. And there aren't that many challenging foods here, anyways. Like I was thinking, oh, since they've never had duck, maybe I could order duck, but that never happened. There is no duck on the menu. And then I also ordered sort of this spare ribs, black soybeans noodles. And then we had a couple Hong Kong style milk tea and Rubena, and they have never tried Hong Kong style milk tea. They've tried milk tea, but it's different. Every milk tea is different, and they have never tried Rubena. So we tried that, and they loved it. Both of them loved all of it. They were especially surprised by how good the congee is. And Nathan was like, "Oh, when I saw this picture on the menu, I doesn't look like something I would order," and that's true. But that's the thing with a lot of Chinese food, and that is, the plating doesn't matter usually. But also at the same time, the beauty standards of a dish is different in different cultures. Like if I see a bowl of congee, I don't see a wacky slurry of weird ingredients. I see a soothing, clean, peaceful bowl of goodness, a warm goodness. And they loved it, and I'm so happy they did. And I also tried to teach Nathan how to use chopsticks, but he used his hand. Like he grabbed the yaotiao, the Chinese churros with his hands and dipped it with the congee. Eat it with the Mexican way, the same way he would grab the tortilla and dip it into the guac and the carne asada. But yeah, both of them loved it, and I had a great meal too. And I have major food coma, which is awesome, by the way. Like in English, it's food coma, and in Hong Kong, it's fan hei gong sam. Same definition. After a meal, you just feel super tired and you just want to go to bed because it's taking so much energy out of you. Yet at the same time, it's giving you so much energy. So after that meal, I and Retablo took a couple more photos, and then we drove all the way back to the west side and went to Sawtell, where we had ice cream. We parked on the side of the street and went to Wanderlust, and my stomach was about to explode, but we still wanted to try the ice cream. So that's what we did, like fuck it. So I think Retablo paid for all of us, or Nathan paid for all three of us. I got pancha, tres leches flavor, and it tastes really good. But also my stomach is about to explode in any given moment. But it's a great ending footnote for our adventure. And it's kind of fantastic, honestly. Yeah, not much else. Let me think of anything interesting to talk about. Not much else. They're both really chill, and I feel like very, very different from yesterday morning. I'm so much more comfortable with both of them, and I think both of them, especially Nathan, has developed more respect for me. Like at first yesterday, he was a little, oh, well, what's up with this guy, But tonight, he was like, wow, I never knew Chinese food could be this good. And I even told them like, oh, this is more southern Chinese cuisine. Like in the north, it's drier and saltier. In the west, it's spicier. And they're receiving all this information, and it's very interesting to them. And it's so awesome that I get to cause I fit into American culture really well, and I can explain all these Hong Kong culture things and Chinese culture things in American terms so easily and make it seem really normal, which makes sense, because in my eyes, through my cultural lens, Hong Kong culture is normal culture, but I also understand American culture as well. So I can pretty much explain it in really realistic terms, and it just really works out. I'm like the mediator, and it's great, you know. It's fucking amazing. Um, and for so long, for over a year, I've been trying to go past 130 pounds. I just did it. I weighed myself, and I'm at 130.4 pounds. At 11 p.m., I came back home. I immediately went to the bathroom. My stomach cannot stand it. But and I'm so tired. Yeah, today's an amazing day. I got to play some Hong Kong music. I got to play some Japanese music in the car, and um, I helped the drivers. Both Retablo and Nathan also drive. I helped them hold up the phone and tell them the directions. For the most part today, I think we went to the right direction, which is pretty great. Yeah, not much else, really. Really not much else. Spent a lot of money today. And the dinner tonight was like $27, which is also kind of expensive for me. But you know what? Today's a special day, so I'll allow it. So I ended up spending about $125 today, which is kind of wild. But then you know what? I'll allow it. And yeah, the director of the feature film, Valeria, has zelled me $57 for the Uber fee reimbursement, so that's fantastic. Thank you. Gracias mucho. Not much else. So the next insane big thing is that I suddenly received an email from Professor Cuchillo saying that after careful review of all the scripts submitted for Film 33, he has decided to not pick any of them. Holy shit, it's actually happening. He decided that he will not choose any of the submitted scripts, and instead he will bring out a backup script of his own. Oh my god. I immediately screenshotted the email and texted it to Michelle, and Michelle's like, whoa, what the fuck? Immediately called Betsy and spoke to her. I was busy adventuring with Retablo and enjoying my life, you know. But it's a huge deal. And people are panicking. And then people in the Film 33 Discord server started talking about it. Like, none of us are, we're shocked, but also none of us are surprised. Like, we all had a hunch that something like this will happen. But yeah, this changes everything. You know, this changes literally everything. Like, the students' attitude for the project, how much control Cuchillo has over the project, the writer-director relationship, everything changes. And it's a huge, huge deal. And Michelle's like, oh, you know, Betsy has more tea. When can I call you? And I'm like, I will return home very late tonight. So she's like, okay, I'll call you tomorrow. So that's that. But yeah, you know, I spoke a lot in the Film 33 Discord server because I want to be in the conversation too, you know. And a lot of them are like, yeah, we're not surprised, but yeah, this is crazy. And then somebody asked, you know, maybe we could do a discussion and maybe we could decide, like maybe we could make changes to the script that Cuchillo chose for us, in a democratic way. And then I was like, honestly, I don't think we have that much power when it comes to modifying the script. And then somebody responded to me, I think Tova responded to me saying, you know what we can do? We can unionize and protest against Cuchillo and tell him that we're going to leave the class. We're not going to help produce the film if we don't like it. And then I made a joke saying leaving the Film 33 because it's a parody of Leaving the Factory, which is a short film Cuchillo helped made about a bunch of Italian-American factory workers unionizing and protesting against low wages and poor treatment. So multiple people laughed at me. I'm a funny guy. That's good. I'm gaining popularity. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's so interesting what's going on. It's a huge political shift. Oh man, I'm so tired right now. It's ridiculous. How tired I am. God. I also ran out of storage space so much I had to delete multiple apps. I think I deleted 3 apps and I deleted a bunch of videos just to clear my storage space. I don't even know if I have backup of those videos. If I don't, I'm going to be so fucking pissed. To be fair, those videos are the Chunwan adventure back in February of 21, and I already made a video about that, so that's that. So I wouldn't be losing everything, but still. But I back up everything usually. I'm a very careful dude. And I ran out of battery all the time. Thank God I have a portable charger with me. Yeah, I came home today with a lot of great rewards. Oyasumi Pumpun over there, that's a Barnes & Noble paperback right there. That's amazing. The meals were both amazing. It's been a long time since I've had so much food and so much great food as well. Yeah, everything's great, you know. I wonder how will Film 33 turn out. Also, apparently this Thursday it's flex day again. So I don't have to go to class, but apparently Professor Cuccio said on Friday they're going to do a table read at 6 p.m. and he invites all of us to come here, but he can't force us. I think I'm going to go. I'm going to show up. I want to be there to witness things. I'm not just Enoch Lai, man. Don't underestimate me. I am the fucking detective. I will be there to witness things. I told that to Michelle. Michelle's proud of me. But yeah, tomorrow's photo 2. I'm gonna speak with Pepper. But yeah, things are changing and developing, and it's getting really interesting. I don't know, and I don't know why I have difficulty breathing right now. I really don't know why. I think it's a combination of me just being tired and just eating so much food. Oh, damn. Fuck. Oh my god, I'm so tired. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for today. That's pretty much it. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know why, but I feel like I didn't really think about Pepper all that much today, but I feel like I have thought about her a lot for some reason. I think it's just not her. I think it's just me really wanting to meet another Hong Konger person who I find interesting, which is so rare, but then a small part of my heart says that it's so possible because there are so many hidden Hong Kongers left and right in my college alone. And it's so difficult too because if I see a Hong Konger person and I see them for once, we hang out and we have lunch together, that doesn't mean anything. I will not know who they really are. Let's say we take the same class. Okay, now that's something. But that's still not enough. Like, I want to know their deeper backgrounds before I truly understand them. And I will only be interested in someone until I truly understand them, which is an illness. I wish I could easily be attracted to people. But unfortunately, I'm not. Unfortunately, I am a lot more picky and a lot more careful than that, which made me a person who is difficult to be attracted to something. You know, I'm so tired. I'm gonna shut up. Good night. Love y'all. Alright, bad news everyone. All my Chunwan videos are gone. Not all, but I'd say 95% of them. I went through my Google Drive and I can't find any of them. They're completely gone. I'm really sure I saved them somewhere, but I just can't find it. I tried everything. I tried different keywords. They're gone, and I hate that. However, I don't feel super bummed out because at least I already made a video out of it, and I don't know what are the chances that I may turn it into another video of sorts. And at least all my photos are still here for some reason. But all the videos are gone, so I rip, I guess. Thankfully, all the Peng Chao videos from April of 21 are still here because I just copied all of them. But otherwise, everything is gone, which is very unfortunate. But yeah, it's not a huge deal, I guess. All right, time now is oh man, okay. Time now is 11:42 a.m. on March 14th. I'm so scared I'm forgetting someone's birthday, but I'm just cruising along right now. So wait, when's the next important birthday that I have to remember? April 6th, that's Leia's birthday. So I went to bed at 2:30. Which is amazing. I'm sleeping earlier again. Except I couldn't fall asleep until 4:10. Or 4:20-ish. I laid on my bed for 2 hours and I couldn't fall asleep at all, and I don't really know why. I think it's because of the milk tea that I had late last night. And it's weird because I thought I'm immune to this type of stuff already. You know, during the Nagano onsen, I drank coffee at 9 p.m. and I was able to sleep 6 hours later. But this, I didn't. I couldn't fall asleep for 2 hours. But thankfully, at around 4:30, I was able to fall asleep. But yeah, that was quite lame. So I probably woke up 6 to 7 times in the middle. I kept on waking up at around 6:20. I woke up again and I went to my phone and set the alarm later. So instead of ringing at 10:40, now it's gonna ring at 11:30. So I slept from 4:20 to 11:30, which seems cool. It's like, or actually that's not 4:30, 4:20. Duh. It's 5. It's 5:20. I slept from 5:20 to 11:30. It says I thought it's 4 because the clock says 4, but the clock didn't change after daylight savings. So it's 5:20 to 11:30. So yeah, it seems like 6 hours is fine, but really I woke up like 6-7 times in the middle. I think I woke up again at around 9, woke up again at around 8, and it just kept waking up again and again and again. And despite that, I think I had several dreams, which also is an indication of me having terrible sleep. I had a nightmare where all my roommates are crazy and are secretly plotting to kill me. There's a Chinese spy working for the government trying to force me to do something, and I had no choice but to say yes, and I was so afraid. And then there are other roommates like who live in the same apartment, not exactly this apartment, like maybe some other apartment, and they can read my mind, and they're like secretly a witch or something, and nobody believes me. Yeah. And there's also something really sad about the dream. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So, and anyways, I'm alive now, I'm awake now. Let's talk about what's gonna happen today. Today it's photo 2. I'm gonna be seeing Pepper and Alba and Potter. I want to speak to Pepper again. Okay, it's been 3 weeks since I've spoken to her, I think. Maybe more than that. I just want to give her a quick update on what's happening in Film 33. And that's pretty much it, you know. It's fine if we stay friends, you know. Let's at least stay being friends. I don't know. so fucking sad that like I recall some of the memories from last semester. Like we would be so close. Like only two of us would sneak into a classroom and we would just chat. I remember the time like when we went to Castaic and we switched sandwiches, Jack in the Box sandwiches by accident. So she ate my sandwich and she took one bite, and then we switched, and I had to like avoid her bite to avoid her saliva. And then like what the fuck? And then all this is ruined because she's such a basic girl. Like if her personality is much more interesting than this, it would have been perfect. And if I'm interested in her, it would have been perfect. Like we shared so much memories together, and now it's all like it all amounts to nothing now. We're strangers again. Why does it have to be that way? So yeah, it's kind of stupid. No, but yeah, anyways, that's photo 2. And then that's pretty much it for today. I will probably have like a Discord call with Michelle and Betsy tonight to talk about the insanity that is film 33. Yeah. And also there's this Asian Pacific club, Asian Pacific Islander club, which is kind of lame because it's like they ruined Hong Kong Student Association just to do this, and they're having their first meeting tomorrow at 1 p.m. I don't know. First of all, I would like to return home to have lunch. Second of all, I'm also planning to watch the Demon Slayer movie. And I don't know though. I think the Demon Slayer movie screening was like 12:50, which is also absurd because there would be no way I would be able to make it to the cinema at 12:50, given that tomorrow photo 1 is going to end at 12:35. So if that's the case, I may actually watch Demon Slayer on Thursday, and then probably actually go to the meeting, the Asian Pacific Islander meeting tomorrow, just for fun, just to see what's going to happen. Because I'm so desperate for knowing about more people and stuff like that. But yeah, that's that. Not much else to talk about. Still processing yesterday. Yesterday was a pretty crazy, eventful day. The fact that I managed to cross 130.4 pounds is pretty insane. The fact that I crossed 130 pounds is pretty insane. And yeah, I have so much food in my fridge now. I don't have to cook all that much tonight anymore. I still have to finish that stupid chicken thigh wrap that I made a couple days ago. It's probably stinky. I may just throw it away because it sucks. Yeah, that's that. I forgot to mention one small thing, and that is last night I sent a bunch of screenshots to Cliff from my short film, and he loved it. I only realized how beautiful my short film is when I took the screenshots and sent it to him. Like, holy shit, the setting, the location, the framing, composition, the blocking, they're all like very beautiful for no reason. And Cliff was like, wow, it looks so good. Like, how did you manage to do that? Like, how did you, like, and then Cliff asked me, what did you expose it for? And I don't know much about exposing things, so I'm like, I really don't know. I just tried my best not to underexpose or overexpose anything. I expose for the people and the landscapes. There's no way I'm gonna expose for the fucking sky. Yeah. But yeah, it looks really great. And I'm so fucking pumped. Well, okay, Thomas is threatening me now. He's forcing me. So Thomas is so lonely. Yesterday he found another excuse to text me. Like he asked me about like how does a Chinese person recognize someone else as Chinese? And this morning he's forcing me. He's asking me if I will go to the table read on Friday, and also script writing club on Thursday. And I didn't even say if I'm going or not, and now he's saying I think you should go because you're the vice president, when in fact I'm only going every meeting because I'm going out of courtesy. You know, actual vice presidents don't have to show up every time. Like that's something that's a fact. All right, so I've tried Krispy Kreme donuts before, but this is special because this is St. Patrick's Day's donuts. So we got some, and you know, I'm also sick of donuts because I've eaten so much already last month, but then I've got to try this, you know? So, here we go. I'm gonna try a Krispy Kreme donut. And I'll tell you how it goes. Honestly, this donut is probably like a regular chocolate donut, but with minty sprinkles. We'll see. Yep, it's just a regular chocolate donut. It's not bad. It's fine. All right, the next part of my breakfast is more Portos. So a couple days ago, Bertablo came to my apartment and gave me Portos, but I haven't got the chance to try this. So yeah, this is some sort of chicken pie pastry. So let's hope it tastes great. And should I try this too? You know what? Let's do it. I really don't know what is this either. Okay, let's do it, and let's directly pop it into the oven. What the heck? Where the hell are the napkins? They took them away from me. Bro, what the hell? Okay, it's fine. I can still manage. Okay. Let's directly pop this in there. And bake for about 7 minutes. Alright, so let's try the pastries. So first off, we got this. I don't really know what this is. Nice and crisp. Okay, oh yeah, this is the meat stuff. God, I am consuming so much calories after this. Okay. Yikes, it's cold at the bottom. I didn't bake for it long enough. I didn't bake it for long enough. But it's pretty good. Alright, let's try this. Deep fried ball. There's a little meat inside. Alright, time now is 8:04 p.m. I just came back home from photo 2. Fuck, it's raining so bad. It's raining so bad, and just like last Tuesday, I came back home with 2 fucking cups of water in my shoes, and I'm drenched. So that's fucking awesome. But yeah, let's talk about what happened today at photo 2 very quickly. I checked my transit app, and it says that it predicts that I will arrive at my destination at 14:44. And since my class starts at 14:45, I thought, okay, it's gonna be right on time. But of course, never fucking trust LA public transport. Never do that. I started to worry because it's so like untrustable. And of course, I was right. The bus got late. The first bus got late, which means that I have to take the second bus. The second ride of the second bus. So that's that. And I thought to myself, there's a very slim chance if the first bus is a little bit faster, maybe I can catch the second bus. So the second bus, bus number 7, it either takes off at 2:31 p.m. or if you missed the 2:31 p.m., then you'll have to wait for 2:45. Bruh, 2:45 is when the class starts. So after I got off the first bus, I ran across the street. I jaywalked my way. Also, the first bus didn't even stop at the right spot, but I somehow jaywalked my way across two different roads in a big intersection, and from afar I could already see Pepper. And then I saw bus number 7. I immediately ran over, and boom, I got onto the bus, and boom, Pepper's there. So, of course, I don't want to make things awkward between us. Pepper sat at the front of the bus, and Pepper sat near the window, meaning that she's inviting me to sit beside her. But she did it in a very hesitant way, so maybe she's not 100% sure. I wasn't 100% sure. I froze for a moment. But she moved herself to the window seat, meaning that she's inviting me to sit beside her. So that's what I did. I sat beside her. And I don't want to make things awkward between us, so right off the bat, I told her, hey, your script isn't chosen. And she's like, oh, what? And then I told her what's going on in Film 33, how none of the scripts are chosen, and Kuchio will be using his own script. And he was kind of shocked and surprised, and that was kind of it. And he was like, oh, I'm so happy I didn't decide to stay in Film 33. I'm so happy I dropped it. And that's pretty much it. And then we talked a little bit about whether today there's an assignment for photo 2 or not. And Pepper's like, what? I didn't even know that. So it turns out it's not today. It turns out the assignment is due next week. But yeah, that's that. Yeah, we got off the bus and we walked to the classroom, and we're right on time pretty much. And I thought, given what's going on with Film 33, Professor Antonio will not show up because he's super stressed out about stuff. Turns out he did show up. Yeah. Turns out he did show up, and he now this reminds me of the letters of recommendation. Like, I'm really curious whether he had submitted them or not, because it's been a whole fucking month. But yeah, everyone showed up. Alba showed up, Potter showed up, Dimitri showed up, Diego showed up. And we shall begin. So today, we're essentially going to do one thing. We're going to get the negatives we had from last Tuesday, and we're going to print it. We're going to turn it into a giant photograph using photograph paper. So yeah, it's a pretty complicated process. Once again, we had to print it. We have to print out the contact sheet first, which is basically a gigantic photograph of the negatives, of all the film negatives itself. And then we need to pick one photo, pick one image, and enlarge it using the reading machine. So that's where everything came together. And we developed it by ourselves, and I wasted 7 pieces of paper today. Lots of trial and error, but I was pretty happy with the end result. Yeah, and I had fun. You know, it's like chemistry class all over again. I get to mix and mash and jump from one chemical to another. So that's pretty fun. I also got to socialize a little bit with other people, like Lily, the white girl that Potter speaks to a little bit. She also spoke to me like a tiny bit, asking me what photo did I pick. And then that Latino guy with the mustache standing beside me, his name is Carlos. And we spoke a little bit, and he was like, what's your name? I said, Enoch. And he said, I'm Carlos. And he put out his hand so we could shake hands, and he said, nice to meet you. That's at the very end of the class. And I took a break. In the middle of the class, I took a break with Potter. We went to, because it's raining outside, so I and Potter went deep into the building to find a hidden spot. And we did find a hidden spot. It's kind of outside, but it's kind of like the backyard of the building, and it's a pile of trash and there's no one there, and it's kind of a very interesting spot. So I and Potter, we just sat down and I spoke to Potter a bit about jobs, looking for jobs. Because I spent so much money yesterday, I am really interested in finding employment. So at the end, Potter said Potter was Potter has a job now, but it's like about 11 hours per week. To him, it's not enough, definitely. So I totally get that. So I talked about how I have to look for a job, look for more jobs, whatever. And Alba earlier today, Alba told me that you actually don't have a lot of time because when I got hired, it still took me like 2 months to get my social security number. And then I realized, oh shit, I need a social security number before I get a job. So if I get somehow magically get hired now by the library or whatever, it'll still take a long time to get the social security number. And it's not like I can just apply for the social security number now. I have to have a proof that I'm hired first. So it's just one gigantic mess. So honestly, I'm gonna give up on the college jobs. If I get hired now, it's not gonna mean anything. By the time I get a social security number, school will be ended. So fuck it all, right? So instead, I'm going to go outside and look for jobs. I don't know how am I gonna do it, but it will happen. In fact, I have one idea. It's a very far stretch, but remember the woman who helped me find the actors for cloud busting? I'm gonna ask her. I'm gonna ask her for paid jobs. And it's gonna be paid under the table. Okay? So that's that. I guess not much else. Not much else. A lot of other stuff actually. I'm sorry. I'm really tired right now. My sleep this morning was terrible, which had led to me being tired. But I'm glad I'm able to speak to Pepper. But very, very late in the class, I followed Diego on Instagram and he followed me back. That happened. True. And then at the very, very end of the class, I finished early because I am a fast boy. So I and Potter, we stood at the door of that building, waiting for Alba and Pepper, who are close to finishing. And I saw Potter holding a piece of paper, like a poster, of the one and only Night Owl Party. And that's really interesting, because that is one of the most ultimate things in the experience of this college, in the world of this college. It's an underground secret society where they throw parties. Pepper has been to a couple of those. Potter has been to a couple of those with Pepper. And of course, I missed out on all of them because I'm a loser. But I want to experience at least once. I know it's going to split my head and give me a panic attack. But if you've been paying attention to my channel, you know that I've been anticipating something like this for a long time. It's like a very naughty thing for me. You know, I feel like an anime villain. Like going to these parties, you know, when I first vaped, I felt like an anime villain. Like this is next level. This is so ultimate for me. And then Potter was like, oh, someone handed me this. Someone gave me this, but I don't know his name. And that someone just came back. It's the French dude. It's the tall French dude with the black hair. So he was also out handing out posters. He handed one out to Pepper, and Pepper was like, oh, thank you, but I won't be going. Maybe Pepper won't go anymore. Of course, after she's had all the fun, like, she's done. And I have missed out all of it, of course, obviously, duh. Of course it's like that. It's always like that. My whole life, it's always like that. Like, whenever Bean Gang is doing photo shoots, I miss out on them. And now it's not a trendy thing anymore. You know? I want to take cool photos on the streets and look like a fucking celebrity. Because that's cool. And if I put it on Instagram, I get clout. People would think I'm cool. But of course, that time is over. People are all serious and professional and mature now. So it's not a trendy thing anymore. So even if I am social now and I get the chance to do photo shoots, I won't do them because other people won't. And I'm not going to do it to myself. Actually, I did it to myself, but it doesn't matter. It's cringe. That's like going to Disneyland by yourself. It's cringe. Okay, but anyways, back. I digress. This party, it was very interesting. Potter told me he's not going. Pepper said he's not going. And then the French dude returned to Potter and to me. And then I asked who he is. Like, I asked his name, and he said he's Idris. And apparently he is born in Beijing, China. And apparently he is half Chinese. Apparently his mom is Chinese, and his dad is French. And then he grew up in Paris for most of his life. So that's very interesting. And out of all the people, I didn't expect that it's him who hands out these pamphlets. Like, it's very interesting. Like, there's so many interesting things happening around me right now. Like the spying, the Film 33 chaos, this secret society. Like, ooh, the juice, it's flowing. Okay, it's flowing inside me. And it's flowing in this world, in the blood veins of the underground of this college. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay. I'm too tired, I'm sorry. So yeah, me, Alba, Pepper, and Potter, we waited at a bus stop. Me and Potter, we talked at a side. Pepper and Alba, they talked at a side. I told Potter about Leslie, Ella, and Natalie. Because I've always wanted to tell Potter about these three people. Because these three are kind of interesting. And Potter was interested too. Potter was like, ooh, these three people seem pretty interesting. Because Potter has always been like, oh yeah, LA doesn't have a lot of interesting people. But Leslie is a rare standout. And she's not from LA, she's Chinese. But wouldn't that be even more interesting? That's like telling an American in the 1940s, oh, my Japanese friend is kind of crazy. Like, oh. And me telling another Hong Konger about a Chinese girl who is kind of crazy and interesting, like that's the sort of a taboo that's going on, And Ella, the white girl, who is kind of a Starbucks TikTok basic person, but that's almost what Potter wanted for a while. And then I told him about Natalie and how Natalie receives all these sexual DMs, all these cuckolding, all these NTR DMs from men, and how she's like an anime girl. And Potter laughed, because it's so ridiculous. But that just goes to show how damn good my storytelling is. So yeah, we took the bus together, and I and Pepper, we got off the bus and we walked back home because I was gonna take another bus, vertically back to my home, but that bus is fucking gone. The service is out of service, so I have to walk. Obviously, of course. What else can I do? Of course, LA has to force me to walk in this fucking rain and ruin me. Great, thank you, LA. So yeah, because that's what I did. Both I and Pepper walked, and we continued to talk a little bit, and it was almost like the good old times. It was almost as if nothing happened between us, and we're talking naturally all over again. It wasn't as natural and as intimate of a talk as we used to, but it still felt fine in a very stupid way. We talked about this class, I think. No, we didn't talk about. We talked about Film 33, and we talked about I asked Pepper if she's going to help out with Cliff's short film. I already know the answer, but I just want to find something to speak to her about. I spoke to her about college app, and she says she got admitted into CSUN. That's no surprise. Everyone can get into CSUN, but the CSUN portfolio is last Sunday. But both Alba and Pepper also hadn't done that, and Pepper was like, "Come on, don't fuck with me, okay?" Alba didn't do that, so that's got to be not true, right? So yeah, that's that. Nothing else. There's nothing to be said with Pepper. I hope we stay being friends, but honestly, I really don't care what she thinks of me right now. Probably nothing. And it's fine that I don't get to, go to a party and experience the intense psychological attack with Pepper for the maximum experience. it's fine because I'll find someone else more interesting. I'm sure of that. And something interesting will happen tomorrow, hopefully. I'll talk more about that later, but I'm also going to have a Discord call with Michelle later to talk about the interesting in and outs of Film 33. So, yeah, that's that. Not much else. Alright. Eating the leftover gailan from last night, which is still a lot, even though this is not like all of it. But this is more than how much I would cook. There's also some pork neck. A little bitter. And for some reason, because I don't want to eat pork chop, I'm eating garlic butter steak. Alright, so it's 1 a.m. in the morning. I'm eating the worst, blandest yogurt ever, and the reason being is because it's made in Beijing! So, let's continue. I forgot to mention that today during the class, I and Alba are trying to enlarge a film frame and, scan it on a photograph paper. And both of us suffered the same issue, and that is, for some reason, what came out looked really dark. And it's weird because we tested out exposing the contact sheet 3 seconds, 6 seconds, 9 seconds, and I found out that the perfect duration of exposure is 13 seconds. So I used 13 seconds for that one frame, and it didn't work. Which is very lame. It's really dark. So Alba asked for help. The other teacher's assistant, who's also Japanese, and they spoke in Japanese. And not gonna lie, it's cool and all. But also, I could maybe understand about 5% of what they're saying, or maybe like 3 to 5%, which is not a lot. But it's just so awesome that all the anime watching and all the VTuber watching that I've done has actually gotten to me to understand about 3% of what they're saying. So the teacher's assistant told Aoba how to avoid the perforations, the holes beside the film, to get into the photograph. I could understand that part. And then Aoba said, oh, my friend also suffered the same problem with me, and that is our photos came out really dark. And I could understand that sentence because he called me Tomodachi. And that's fucking awesome. I got friend dropped again. Holy shit. I got friend dropped. When Christian called his mom and said, I'm with an amigo, con un amigo, I was like, oh, fuck, I got friend dropped. Like, I got, like, friend zoned, but in a positive way. Like, oh my god, like, I'm confirmed a friend. So when Aoba called me a tomodachi, I was so happy. Not super happy. Like, I know I'm her friend, but like, yeah, damn, I got friend confirmed. And then she said something kuro or kura, which means black. So I guess that means our photos came out really dark. So it's really cool that I got to hear a little bit of that. But the main course of the clip that I'm filming right now is actually not about Aoba. It's actually about the 2-hour-long Discord call between me and Michelle. More than 2 hours, from 9 p.m. all the way to 11:15. We called and talked and talked and talked. There's so much information. So I'm beginning to find out even more and more and more information about the drama at the CMD. So much so that I could literally write a whole book and make a whole mind map about it. So a lot our call wasn't breaking news for me, so Michelle asked me like, "What the fuck is going on?" And I just told her, "Oh yeah, Kuchio didn't pick any of our scripts. We're screwed. I know." Um, Honestly, I know just as much as Michelle knows. It's not like I have some secret spy spying on Kuchio or anything like that. No. So, I don't really understand why Michelle's being this overdramatic. I mean, yeah, this is a crazy dire situation, don't get me wrong, but there's nothing we could do. But about halfway through the phone call, she started telling me some breaking news. So she said, "Oh, there's actually something. There are actual other reasons why Theo was acting really weird. So last Thursday, Theo decided to ignore Betsy but speak to Michelle, which is really weird. And then Michelle decided to tell me something that she learned a week ago, and that is about Leslie. Oh, now that's interesting. Because Leslie might be in the top three most interesting person I've known. And I've been, ever since the Film 30, the WoW stuff, I've been, um, thinking about her a little bit, you know. Um, so Michelle mentioned her, and now I'm hooked. I'm interested. So what's going on? And Michelle asked me if Leslie has ever told me about her love life. I'm like, no. Oh shit. What's the tea? And then Michelle told me, apparently a while ago, a long time ago, maybe last December, Betsy and Leslie had a conversation. And for some reason, Betsy asked Leslie, oh no, or I think it was, Michelle who asked Leslie, do you have a crush on someone right now? And Leslie said yes. And guess who that person is? It's Theo. I don't know what the fuck should I say to that. I don't know how do I react to that. I guess first off, let's just say I'm disappointed. Because Leslie always comes off like, I wouldn't say she's complicated, but she comes off like a very unhinged person. And her taste in men would probably be kind of unhinged as well, Like, I feel like I got a hunch that maybe Leslie would be into very soft, sissy boys. That or the complete opposite. Super dominant, super tough, ultra aggressive boys. Nothing in between. I didn't know she would go for such a surface level choice. Theo always taunts himself and pretends to be the best man in the world. He is like the Marvel movies of all men in the film program of my college. So that is kind of messed up. Damn, Leslie's losing my respect here. But this also simultaneously makes Leslie more interesting of a person. Slightly, maybe. It's just that she's unpredictable. But yeah, disappointing, definitely, for sure. And, yeah, I think it was, it was Leslie who told Betsy about the fact that she had a crush on Theo. Leslie told Michelle she has a crush on someone, but Leslie told Betsy who it is. And Betsy only told Michelle a week ago, and now Michelle's telling me. And that's one breaking news. The other breaking news is Leslie told Betsy that, okay, hold on, I may have gotten the things wrong. Maybe it is Leslie who told Michelle that she has a crush on Theo. But anyways, I'm sure of this. Leslie told Betsy that she confessed her feelings to Theo. Holy fuck, I wish a girl would do this to me. I don't even care if, like, is it a girl that I like or not. I just want someone to say they love me. That's such an ego boost. I would cry. I would fall to my knees and cry. But anyways, Leslie confessed to Theo. And being the man of all mans himself, Theo, of course, rejected. That didn't go so well. And Leslie acted strangely from then on out. according to Michelle and Betsy, both of them also believe that there's something wrong with Leslie. Like Leslie just seems depressed. So there's that. The next breaking news is also a love thing. Michelle has a crush on Cliff. I'm so happy that all the people I'm talking about are people that I've mentioned multiple times. And it's almost like a TV show where the writer is grouping up all these characters and brainstorming of ideas. But it's happening in real life in real time as I speak, which is so fucking miraculous. Somehow Michelle is developing feelings for Cliff. And it started a couple weeks ago when Michelle texted Cliff asking him like how's the editing of WoW, like what's going on. And I totally didn't see that coming because Cliff is not like Harrison at all. Harrison is a surfer boy, chill guy, and Cliff is also chill, but a very nice, soft person. I don't know why. And if I was Michelle, again, this is the moment where I got a little jealous when Michelle said that. Not because, ooh, Michelle likes someone else or someone else likes Cliff. I got jealous because she gets to have feelings, and I don't. I realized one thing, and that is, at this point, the thing I want the most actually isn't even a girlfriend. It's I want to have feelings for people. I have been so cold-blooded for the last few years, for the last year, anyways, that I haven't developed romantic feelings for anyone, including Pepper. I just couldn't develop anything with Pepper. So I'm kind of jealous. I wish I would have a crush on someone. I wish I could. That's better than nothing. Having a crush on someone, but then not having her, is better than having nothing, like me right now. I literally don't feel anything towards anyone. So yeah, that's kind of a bummer. But this also the moment I start thinking, Michelle's concept of what love is definitely different from mine. In fact, what's Natalie's concept of what love is different from mine. To be honest, everyone's concept of what love is different from each other. So, the fact that I can't fall in love with anyone ever doesn't equate that I am more cold-blooded than other people. Because my definition of love is way more different. So I cannot use my own standards and judge other people's romantic relationship and romantic feelings. That's one thing to keep in mind about. When I say love, I'm fucking serious. I don't mean, oh, you're hot, you're cute, let's hang out and date. When I say love, I mean serious love. I mean, if I don't hear her voice for a week, I will want to kill myself. That's how much I love her. Kind of love. For Michelle, it's probably different. For anyone else, it's probably different. Maybe they're a lot more casual about it, but I'm a very dramatic guy. I'm a very sentimental guy. And when I was in love with Mary, that was the case. If Mary didn't show up for a whole week, I wouldn't be able to stand it. I would not. But anyways, I digress. So I asked Michelle why. Michelle said, I don't know. And honestly, that's the correct answer. Love is not something you can explain. If Michelle said, oh, because he's chill, blah, blah, then okay, let's keep it platonic. So there's that. So now everything's gotten way more interesting and complex. And then a little bit later, I think somehow the conversation went from drama like that to history, family history. I don't know how I started talking about this. Oh yeah, Michelle asked me if Cliff is Muslim or not because she has a huge issue with Muslims. And I asked her if it's something to do with your history, and she's like, yeah. So she explained how her grandpa and her dad were, when they were in Iran, huge thing happened. Her grandpa was in the military before the Iranian Revolution, and then during the revolution, they imprisoned her grandpa, and then her dad tried to save him or wait for him outside of the prison, and her dad could have been killed. And I told Michelle, like, when I took the bald professor's film history class and he talked about Iranian history, I thought about Michelle. And Michelle was flattered. Like, Michelle was shocked that I thought of her. And so I got to explain a little bit of my own family history as well, and how my grandma fled from the Cultural Revolution, and how I came to be. And then another thing that really changed Michelle's perception of me is by just I mentioned quite a lot of personal shit today, because until yesterday, before today, I've never told Michelle a lot of my personal shit because I don't trust people like that. I mean, I trust her, but she's not close enough. Like, the only two people who I can really reveal my deep personal stuff to is Pepper and Potter. And I probably won't do that to Pepper anymore. And it's only Potter left who I can do that. But I revealed a little bit of my personal shit to Michelle, especially when I started talking about how it's really difficult for me to develop relationships. And then Michelle asked me if I'm asexual. And I said I don't think so, because I've developed feelings before. But something happened, something went wrong during the pandemic. I just couldn't love anymore. And then I said it's a very long story, it's really complicated, but something happened in my secondary school. And then I also explained to Michelle how, you know, I love this drama shit because I'm really good at it. Like, I've been doing this drama detective shit for more than half of my life. I'm 20. I've been doing it since I'm 10. Actually, that's not true. I've been doing it since I was 12. Less than half of my life. But still, you know, I've been doing shit like this. I'm trained. And I told Michelle, you know, a lot of crazy stuff happened. I also told Michelle how, like, one of my biggest concerns when I came to USA, actually my top biggest concern, is that it's going to be boring. And now I am not bored. Even though, truth be told, I still think the conspiracies era back in Hong Kong in my secondary school is still way more interesting than what's happening to me right now. But I'm so happy. Today is probably one of the first days I've actually felt something. A great sense of nostalgia, like a creeping sense of energy and excitement under my skin. And it's been so long since I felt that. It's honestly amazing. Michelle told me many times today how much she realized that I'm different, and how much she thinks we can hang out in the future and that we could be friends. And it's clear that Michelle is onto something. Like, even if Michelle isn't developing romantic relationships for me, at least Michelle is, like, seeing me as a very different light right now. So that's pretty amazing and fantastic. Yeah, and a storm is brewing, a war is brewing. Apparently, so Michelle and Betsy take acting classes together every Thursday, and Betsy's acting is terrible, and Michelle told me that finally Betsy's bad at something, because she's always been such a boss. But another thing is, this Friday, Professor Cuccio, the Indian professor, Antonio, and Drew, the white teacher assistant, they're going to be at the table read at 6:30 p.m. this Friday. And that is a huge fucking deal, because that clashed with the relay race rehearsal. And the relay race is actually the name of a play or something that Betsy's been working on. So Betsy's really angry about this. So maybe something will happen. Maybe there will be a clash. We don't know. But Cliff, Leslie, Betsy, Professor Cuccio, and possibly a few others will show up this Friday. And I am definitely showing up. I told Michelle that, okay, Cliff, Leslie, Betsy, Cuccio, they're all showing up. I'm showing up, and I will find out all the information. And Michelle was really shocked. She's like, wow, you are really efficient. Wow, you are so good at this. Yeah, the game is on. I laughed. Honestly, I let out a devilish laugh because it's been so long since I felt like this. I feel like I'm in a game right now. And it's so weird because Cliff isn't even the type of guy who would be whirled up and swirled up in conspiracies games like this, in drama games. But now he's somehow dragged into it because he edited WoW and now Michelle's fallen in love with him. And I'm somehow whipped up in all of it as well. And isn't it so fucking lucky that I somehow became close friends with Cliff and I somehow became close friends with Leslie? And how did that even happen? How did it even start? I remember I only started talking to Cliff because I talked about Paul Thomas Anderson on Instagram, and I forgot how it all started with Leslie. Like, yeah, sure, I met Leslie on one of the club days, but I don't know. I think it's also through Instagram. We just talked a lot, but yeah, somehow it all came together. Somehow, when I, Pepper, Leslie, and Cliff hung out together, it's like four very innocent people hanging out very innocently. God only knows. Oh, fuck, for fuck's sakes. God only. Don't stop moving. God only knows that we are going to be such key players in this game, that we will become this important key players. Holy fuck, this is like Game of Thrones all over again. I am suddenly really excited to go to school, just for the drama, just for the people, just for the information. And this is different. It's almost like history repeating itself, like, oh, I can feel a storm brewing. Like back in Form 2 of Conspiracies, I could feel it. And now I could feel it again. But this time is different, because back in the days I was powerless. I was powerless, shy, scared, timid, and I'm weak. But now I have power. Big key players like Leslie and Cliff, I'm actually close with them now. And I am way more powerful than I was before. Also, apparently, this black girl, Tova, apparently she's super close with Betsy, just as close as I am with Michelle. And Tova's also been feeding information, like drama, to Betsy, except she doesn't do it as much as I do. And she's only starting to do it now. Instead, unlike me, who started doing this since day one. So because of this, I think I'm going to team up with Tova. I'm going to befriend her, I'm going to team up with her, and we're going to be the secret watchers in the back. We're going to oversee the entire process. So that is the plan. That is the absolute freaking plan. But yeah, after learning about Leslie having a crush on Theo, I just I don't know. I've been thinking about relationships again. And I guess the only thing I could say is the only thing I could really do is really to go out more and see more people. The more people I see, the higher of a chance I will find the right one. So even though it's stupid, I think I will go to the Asian Pacific Islander meeting tomorrow. I will. I probably won't go to that stupid night owl party this Saturday. Because I want to go with someone important to me. But yeah, I'll definitely go out a lot more, adventure a lot more, risk a lot more. Also, I told Potter about Ella and how she's holding a birthday party, and Potter's like, "You should go," and I said, "Well, I don't know Ella that well," and Potter's like, "Well, that's probably why Ella invited you. It's like, she wants to know you more." I don't know. I just want my first American party to be a very special occasion. And it's so awesome when I told Michelle, I actually asked Michelle about this night owl thing. And I was so scared that Michelle would say, "Oh yeah, I've heard of it." I told Michelle this, and I told her this in the most dramatic, cinematic way possible. Like, there's a secret organization in our college, and nobody knows it. It's called Night Owl. Have you heard of it? And Michelle's like, "No." And it's so interesting. And I told her how this information gave me a lot of psychological damage because of Pepper and other people, other Hong Kongers, JT and Potter. But that's a whole side story. And Michelle's probably not ready to hear any of that. And Michelle hasn't really seen me and Pepper in the same room before. But if she had, she would probably think I and Pepper are in a relationship as well, which definitely did not happen. But yeah, Michelle said, no, I haven't heard of this organization. And then I started reading a list of people who follows this organization's Instagram account. Alba, the Mexican girl, Leslie, Cliff. Now everything just got 100, 1,000 times more interesting. And then I talked about, and then Michelle asked me to say something in Cantonese, like how to say fuck you, so I just taught her. And then she said a sentence in Spanish. I am happy, but I'm happy for others, but I'm not happy myself. And I was able to understand maybe half of it. And then she said something in Farsi, and I completely didn't understand it. She said, I am a student in Farsi. But yeah, given how much personal shit I showed today and how much I hinted, I told Michelle a lot about how, I've experienced things, I've seen things, but I never specified because while I really trust her, I'm not close with her that much yet. Second of all, I just don't have the time to explain all this. It's too long of a story, it's too complicated. It's a whole world, it's a whole history. But I think because of that, I made myself very interesting. It's almost the same way how Jordana was like, back in primary school, something crazy happened to me. But then she never elaborated what happened to her. Because probably nothing all that crazy happened. But that added to her mystery, and that was really cool. And I think I'm doing the same thing. Also, do you consider me and Pepper like half a girlfriend? Half a relationship? Sure, it never really reached that point, but I feel like it's just one of those things back in secondary school where you're like, oh yeah, Anne and Grant never officially dated, but they were really close and they hang out all the time. Might as well call it a 0.5 relationship, so it's not O1 or A1, it's 0.5. Maybe that's that. Maybe I and Pepper had a 0.5. But that's the optimistic way of looking at it. Let's be honest here, it's a 0. It's a fucking 0 for me. I didn't feel anything for her. Even though we had a lot of great memories together, and I'm glad we were able to talk today. I think that is a huge step up, a huge W, but I truly don't fucking care. I will find someone more interesting than her. I will. And even if I don't get her, at least I want to have feelings for someone. At least I want. So, there's that.